two-day state visit begins with a drive through Havana. A look at old monuments. Christopher Columbus discovered Cuba in 1492. The Spaniards arrived later. The Cubans had a checkered history. In their fight for independence was the great patriot José Martí, regarded as Cuba's greatest national hero. Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi pays homage to the great Cuban patriot at the Plaza de la Revolución. The two leaders discuss a variety of national and international issues. Bilateral agreements are reached in many fields. At the Palace of the Revolution, Cuba's highest honor, the José Martí Award, is conferred posthumously on Mrs. Indira Gandhi for her great feats in favor of peace, friendship and progress of the human race. The state visit over, the two leaders bid each other a fond farewell on October 22nd. On to New York. At Columbia University, Mr. Gandhi addresses a distinguished gathering.
President, distinguished faculty, ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor to be at Columbia. I recall that my grandfather and my mother also had the privilege of speaking here. You know better than I do how university audiences react to politicians who, all too often, have that endearing habit of taking themselves too seriously. I know how I reacted when I was at college. You can't be all that different. So it was not a desire to communicate to you some profound truth that prompted me to accept the very kind invitation to be with you this afternoon. As an eminent philosopher of our time once dryly observed, there is no a priori reason for supposing that the truth, when it is discovered, will prove interesting.
Mr. Gandhi, who is in New York for the United Nations 40th anniversary, has separate meetings with leaders of various countries. And then a meeting with President Reagan of the United States. October 24th, the United Nations organization commemorates its 40th anniversary. Addressing the session, Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi implores the world community to fight the underlying causes of social upheavals, poverty and hunger.
Mr. President, General Secretary, distinguished leaders of delegations, ladies and gentlemen, on this 40th anniversary of the United Nations, I bring you greetings from the people of India and from the non-aligned movement. The United Nations was founded to prevent war, to enlarge the scope of freedom, freedom from oppression, and freedom from want. Many national liberation movements would not have succeeded without the moral and political support of the United Nations. This has made the United Nations increasingly representative and universal. But vestiges of colonialism persist. Namibia remains enslaved. 25 years have passed since the UN Declaration on Freedom for Colonies, and 7 since the Security Council unanimously spelt out the steps for Namibia's independence. 7 years of deprivation, 7 years of death. The world awaits an independent Namibia. Let us, from here, send a message of solidarity to the freedom fighters of Namibia and South Africa. As the world enters the 3rd millennium, the Pretoria regime refuses to learn the lessons of the 2nd, that all people are equal. The people of India have a special bond with the people of South Africa. It was South Africa that enabled Mahatma Gandhi to fashion his strategy of mass defiance of lawless laws. In this, the 40th commemorative year of the United Nations, should we meekly accept the fact of the world's divisions, dangers, and injustices? Let us rededicate ourselves to peace. Let us resolve to fight against the shame of starvation in the world of plenty. Let us denounce the crime of racism in an age of equality and human dignity. Let us cure the world of the insanity of nuclear militarism. Let man's creative genius be enlisted on behalf of enrichment, not destruction. Friends, let us launch a crusade for peace, freedom, and equality. Thank you, Mr. President.
And then again, a time to talk about issues of mutual interest with other leaders. Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi's next visit is to the Netherlands, the Queen's Palace, The Hague, an informal meeting with Queen Beatrix of the Netherlands and Prince Claus. Mr. Gandhi has wide-ranging talks with Dutch leaders on matters ranging from disarmament to the international monetary situation. October 26th, the beautiful city of Moscow in the Soviet Union. Mr. Rajiv Gandhi and Mrs. Sonia Gandhi are received by the Soviet Prime Minister Nikolai Ryzhkov. The Kremlin. Prime Minister Gandhi meets the Soviet Communist Party General Secretary Mikhail Gorbachev. The Soviet leader speaks of his country's determination to work for lessening tensions in the world. Mr. Gandhi and Mr. Gorbachev make a review of the economic cooperation prospects between the two countries. It's almost a 2-hour session. For the Prime Minister of India, Mr. Rajiv Gandhi,